right, so if you come across this video, you're probably looking for We Buy Houses companies in Lake Wylie, South Carolina. My name is Matthew Manus. I'm the owner of M1 Property Group, and I thought I'd put together a quick video just to show you our services and how we might be able to help you out. So if you're looking to sell in Lake Wylie, what's our ultimate service? It's basically being problem solvers, trying to make the selling process as simple and easy as possible, especially compared to traditional selling methods. We do typically deal with a lot of complex real estate problems, such as houses that need a lot of repairs, inheritance and probate, like title issues, unfinanceable properties, foreclosure, properties that are behind on payments and that sort of thing. So that's kind of our specialty. At a high level, what do we really offer? It's convenience, easy process, speed, so cash closing, so we can close a lot quicker than those buyers, retail buyers that need to get mortgages. Flexibility, so like I said, we can close on your schedule. No need to make expensive repairs or haggle with contractors or worry about if they're going to show up or not. We can actually offer moving assistance, so we've done that in the past, so a lot of sellers like that. And then there's actually not even a need to clean the house. So we've bought houses fully furnished. Basically, the owners left all the furniture behind that they didn't want, and then we dealt with it. So they really like that. On top of that, so there's no realtor commissions because we're buying direct. So it's basically a for sale by owner transaction. No closing costs. In our offers, we're going to cover the buyer and seller closing costs. All our closings are with Harry Marshall Law. We've been working with Harry for about 5 years now. He does all our North and South Carolina closings. Extremely professional, very reputable firm, and they deal with complex real estate issues all the time. So we really like them. On top of that, we can actually hire a mobile notary. So you can do remote closing, so you don't actually have to, try to get across town or leave work and go to a closing. Everything can be done remotely. Basically, Harry and his team will prepare the documents. A mobile notary can, come to your work or your house, drop off the documents, get them notarized, get them back to Harry, and then the closing's ready to take place. So, again, just trying to simplify things for our sellers. All right, so I put together a little table here. Basically, this outlines what would be our process that I've already kind of touched on, most of these elements here in the blue column, and then the traditional sale process in the yellow column on the right. I'll kind of just touch on those specifically. So obviously, when you're taking a property to market and you're using a realtor, usually you're going to want to make the repairs, do the updates to ensure that it sells quickly, and cater to what buyers are looking for. So a lot of times that's going to be things like paint, flooring or carpet, maybe countertops or backsplashes, that sort of thing. Obviously, you're going to need to clean the house to get it ready. And in between showings, you're going to need to keep the property relatively clean. And sometimes that can be difficult with kids and pets and that sort of thing. So on top of that, once you have your showings going or in preparation for showings, you're going to have to realize there's going to be a lot of foot traffic. So there's going to be a lot of people coming and going at all times of the day. That's something you'll have to, plan for. There'll be 6% realtor commissions, 3% for the buyer's agent, 3% for the seller's agent. You will need to pay your closing costs in a traditional sales setting. And on top of that, it's not uncommon for the buyer to actually ask for closing cost assistance. And usually that's to either they don't have the money for the full down payment or the closing costs, or maybe a combination of both. So there's the time element as well. So most retail buyers are going to need to get a mortgage or use a bank. And a lot of times that closing process can take 30 to 45 days at a minimum. Next, the moving assistance. And 99% of the time, you're probably not going to find a buyer that's going to be willing to pay for your moving costs. So that is something we offer. But and lastly, in coordination, we really try to go above and beyond to help our sellers. We can be a courier. We've worked with sellers that don't have printers, computers, automobiles. So we come in and insert ourselves however we can, printing off documents, dropping them off, getting the mobile notary, to where they need to be, hiring the moving company, whatever the case may be. If they want to attend the closing, we can pick them up if they don't have a car and take them to the closing. So whatever it is that we can do. But, typically in a traditional sale, you're not going to get all that treatment. So we do try to educate our sellers on the cost to sell in a traditional sale if they're exploring alternatives. Basically, there's a lot of deductions that take place, and the average seller only sells maybe 1 to 2 properties in their lifetime, so it's not always at the top of their head, all the things that take place. So just kind of hitting it here, you've got the realtor commissions, which most people know about, 6% sell price. You got your closing costs, which is typically going to be 2 to 4% of the sale price. It's probably going to be closer to the 4% if your buyer's coming in and asking for a lot of closing cost assistance. You've got your holding cost, over the time that it's actually you decide you're going to sell to the time you're actually at the closing table and it closes. Things you're paying for like utilities, insurance, interest, and HOA and landscaping may or may not be applicable. You get repairs, so anything you do to the house to get it market ready. And then repairs kind of on the more like the back end, I guess. Once you have a buyer and they have a home inspection, most of the time they're going to come up with a list of repair requests that they'd like you to either, have a contractor perform before closing or either issue some sort of credit to them. Obviously, that can vary. And then lastly, you have a couple contractual elements. So there's a home warranty request a lot of times. A lot of buyers like to get that request in, and that can be around $500, and that's deducted from the seller usually. And then lastly, this may or may not be applicable, but some buyers will request that, you leave things behind that you maybe didn't plan on leaving behind, such as the fridge or washer and dryer and that sort of thing. So you can see there's a lot of costs that can really creep in, and it's almost like I always compare it to like your paycheck. So you have the gross amount for all the hours you worked in a given week, and then you have your deductions that take place like taxes and your insurance and benefits and that sort of thing that come out, and then you have that kind of net amount that's left over. So it's really the same element here. So but the average cost to sell can be approximately 12 to 15% of the list price by selling with traditional methods. So that's something we just try to iterate to our sellers if they're considering maybe a company like us. But what types of properties do we buy? So first and foremost, we're problem solvers. So we usually work with difficult situations, or maybe there needs to be a time element, moving quickly, whatever the case may be. But usually it's a case where a realtor or a traditional sale just won't work. So what all kinds of properties do we have experience with? It could be foreclosure, people that are behind on payments, those that are underwater, houses that need major repairs, including fire damage or water damage, code enforcement violations, which usually leads to repairs needing to be done, inherited properties, those that are in probate or estate properties, multiple heir situations, which sometimes can be complicated, retirement, those that are relocating for work maybe. Vacant land, also with land, we have experience with easement issues, unfinanceable properties. I touched on that. Basically that, banks won't lend on properties if maybe there's not an HVAC unit or if there's structural issues or something like that. And then title issues, we have experience with that as well. Those that have liens or judgments or maybe back taxes. But I guess you can see the recurring theme here is that it's mostly properties that have some sort of complication to it that we specialize in. So just kind of wrapping it up, I guess you do have to ask yourself, if you're kind of weighing the options of a traditional sale or maybe an alternative, if you're willing to wait, it could be 3 to 4 months to get maybe 85% or so of your list price going the traditional route. By the time you decide you're actually going to list or not list, but sell your home, there's a cleanup, there's any repairs that are going to take place, there's hiring contractors. How long are the contractors backed up? Is it 2 to 3 weeks? How long is it going to take them to perform the work? How long is it going to take you to find a realtor, get a photographer in there, get photos, get the listing done, take the listing live, and then, hopefully have some offers come in, decide on an offer, and then how long is the bank or mortgage company that the buyer is usually going to take to close? It's going to be 30 to 45 days. And even FHA loans, those can go as long as 60 days. So it can quickly turn into 3 to 4 months just deciding to sell a property, going the traditional route. But just iterating our process or reiterating our process, No repairs, no commissions, no closing costs. Take what you want and leave the rest. Just any furniture you don't want to mess with, you can just leave it in the property. And then on top of that, we can actually offer moving assistance as well. So I do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video. We do buy houses and land in Lake Wylie, South Carolina. So you can give us a call if you're interested in selling, or you know someone that might be interested at 704-727-6161. You can email us at info@m1propertygroup.com. And you can also fill out a web form on our site at www.m1propertygroup.com. Again, I do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video.